This is the Archie Miller Show, an inside look at Dayton Flyers basketball through the eyes of the coach. Now, here's your host, Mike Hartsock.
And good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Archie Miller Show as we head toward the holidays, just a couple of 3 days away from Christmas now. And you've got a game coming up today later on, but this is a time of year that as a basketball coach, I don't care if it's JUCO, Division I, whatever, it's tough to keep guys' attention right now.
It is. You finished with finals. You're in the midst of playing just games right now, so there's a lot of downtime. And that horizon of being able to get out of town a little bit, go see your family, get a couple days away from the action, so to speak, is always enticing to the kids. And but for us, USC is such a great opponent, and our guys will be excited to play. And
this is a tough week for the Flyers. USC comes in this afternoon, return game from when Dayton went out to Los Angeles a year ago. But you started the week against a very good Iona team that was no stranger to the arena.
Yeah, this was a big week for us, and we started it by really focusing our guys on Iona. Had a lot of respect for them. They have terrific offensive talent. They've played in the NCAA tournament, happened to be in our arena 2 years in a row, have guys that have been on that floor before. And they're a team that come, January, February, March, you're going to start to see put a lot of wins on the table because they're going to be right at the top of their conference. So that was a dangerous game, and luckily I really felt like our guys really prepared, and we responded the right way to them.
No question the Flyers will not face a more high-powered offensive attack than what you saw on Thursday night.
Yeah, then their guards can really score the ball, and then they have a very unique system where their five-man really triggers a lot of basketball plays for the other guys, and he's a load to deal with off the dribble as well. So with the way they kept the floor spread, we knew we were going to have to really try to contain them the best we could. We wanted to get back, and we wanted our defense to offense, our ability to score in transition, hopefully, to be a big strength in this game because we felt we could score on.
All right, the Flyers trying to get things done on Thursday night at the arena. Let's pick up the action early on in this one, and down low, spin move, and Deshaun Pierre, the start of a big night for Deshaun.
Yeah, Deshaun's in a really good place right now. He struggled at Illinois State, probably his low point of his college career, but I think he's really responded well in practice, and he deserved it. He really played hard.
Jordan Seibert tips in his own miss there as the Flyers get out to an early lead in this one, and then Kari Price comes up with a steal, and defense was doing a lot of things for you.
Early on, our defense was really tight, and I felt like when we got the rebound, we were able to push it, and for the most part, our guys were very aggressive.
Once again, you see a lot of zone out of them.
Yeah, that's kind of Iona's MO. That wasn't a shocker to us. They play a lot of different types of zones, 1-3-1, matchup, 2-3, and we didn't want to concern ourselves with really what type of zone they were in as much as we wanted to really push the ball and move the ball.
And that was Devin Oliver pushing the ball, taking it coast to coast to lay it up and in. Then inside, Oliver's able to finish down low again as the Flyers building it out to a 5-point lead. Jalen Robinson continues to play well in the minutes that he's getting. That one tipped back up and in by Deshaun.
Good offensive rebound by Deshaun. I think he had 8 in the game. Just goes to show you how aggressive he's being in terms of attacking the basket.
What you're seeing against this defense is penetration and kicking. That's something that's key to what you have to do.
That's a big part of who our team is, not shooting challenge 2-point shots. The more the ball moves, the more we have weapons around that can make different plays, and I think the more we drive the pass, post the pass, the better off we're going to be.
Scoochie Smith knocks down a three-pointer, then Scoochie coming on the run. This game being televised back in New York, so Scooch was wanting to show something a little bit.
He did a good job really pushing the ball here in transition. I thought that was our biggest strength.
Not sure there are many better three-point shooters right now in the country than Kari Price.
He's really shooting the ball well. He's taking excellent shots. I think now he's starting to make a little bit more plays off the dribble, as you saw off a couple ball screens. He shot the ball well too.
Right at the end of the fast break there, the shot was put up and in, and the Flyers continue to make things happen, even against a double team, wide open inside.
Good cut by Deshaun. It was good for Jalen to kind of make the play under some pressure there and not turn it over.
Flyers in an up-and-down tempo game. This is a game players like, coaches maybe not so much.
Well, that can get crazy, and as the game continues to progress, you start to think you're going to score on every play, and it gets a little hectic out there. But, our guys were aggressive, and I think that's the biggest thing to take away from it is our aggressiveness on offense and transition is something I think that can be a big strength.
Scoochie steals and scores. They pressed you a little bit, too, but you were able to take care of that.
Yeah, the press really didn't bother us as much. We're accustomed to seeing it a lot right now, and I think once we get it to the second level of the defense and we have numbers, we're making good decisions.
Up top, it's Scoochie spinning down the lane. Loose balls picked up and scored inside by Devin Scott.
Good penetration by Scooch. Good catch and finish by Devin. Need those guys to put the ball in the basket.
Minute left to play in the first half, and the Flyers continue to go to the basket off their press, and you're able to make good things happen. Another one here is V. Sanford gets the basket, the foul
Really
inside.
good push by Deshaun. Great bounce pass, and V getting out, doing a good job finishing at the basket.
So the Flyers go into the locker room scoring 51 points in the first half, and that's always a positive.
That was a positive. I think the one downside to the first half was at about the 7-minute mark, 8-minute mark, being up 15, and then taking our foot off the pedal a little bit defensively, not getting back, giving them some confidence to get that thing under 6 at one time. But the fact that we went in at halftime with a double-figure lead, if you'd have told me that before the game, I would have been excited.
In a game like this against a team with a high-octane offense, you know they're going to score. So you can't be too upset defensively when they get a basket. You've just got to control swapping baskets every time down the court.
Yeah, I think the big thing is to make sure that you're challenging, the shots. You're challenging the shots at the basket, and you're not just having mental breakdowns. We knew them coming back in with their big guy in the second half. We're going to get a different feel for him. They were going to go at him offensively. But, in watching film, watching him score at Kansas, you watch him score against George Mason in our league, you watch him score against St. Bonaventure. They just play. And sometimes they can put it up in bunches, and we knew that. But we wanted to be organized on offense as well.
All right, let's go back out to the second half of the UD Arena and pick up the highlights as Dayton with a nice 9-point lead and stretching it inside. Jalen Robinson scores.
Good pass by Kyrie.
Down low, loose ball. Scooped back up top, and Jordan, they don't come out and get him close enough, so he knocks it over top of him.
Good loose ball, 50-50 play by Jalen, able to save it.
Nice play here. This was we're going to take a couple of looks at this. He goes up on one side of the basket, comes up and under with a reverse layup. Jordan Seibert making a nice move there.
Jordan really offensively can make a lot of plays. I think he's playing at the basket right now to avoid a little bit of the contact, and probably isn't finishing as well as he normally does, but he's a bona fide scorer for us, and we need him.
Get you an 11-point lead, then V. Sanford from outside. V really heated up in the second half.
Yeah, V was playing really well. He's had a great week of practice. He's playing career-best basketball right now, and it's good to see.
Down the stretch there, lays it up and in as the Flyers start building that lead out a little bit. What was 9 at halftime is growing to 15 and 16 points, and V was just getting open looks.
He was. He's making a lot of plays off the bounce for himself. Right now, though, I think the biggest thing for him is rebounding in transition, and he's making some really smart plays for us on the open floor. But, V and Jordan and those guys are all, able to make good plays with the ball, and I think that they're all confident.
Nice give and go that time to Scucci.
Really good pass. He's heads it really in the game right now, V, and if he plays like that, we're going to be tough to beat.
Back the other way, though, they're able to score it as they don't stop. They get the ball out of the basket and go the other way, and Alex Gavrilovic gives you a nice lift.
Yeah, nice pass by V in the open floor. They're not getting back right now. We continue to push it. And again, a nice pass again by V.
Devin Oliver, it's a 16-point game, misses there, but it's fired back up and in by Deshaun Pierre. And then here comes Deshaun leading the fast break and sharing the basketball.
Yeah, 22 assists in the game was good to see. And, not turning the ball over is huge. The less we turn it over, the more we're going to score.
Again, working against what was a half-court trap in that situation, and Deshaun goes to the basket and draws the foul as well inside of 8 minutes to play. Now inside of 5 minutes left, and there's V down low. That's what he can do against guards that a lot of guys, smaller guys,
we
can't.
haven't played against a lot of man-to-man of late, but, V's one of those guys. He's unique where he can score the ball on other perimeter players in the paint.
Kari Price, his third three-pointer of the night, knocks it down as the Flyers continue to make things happen, and Kari's open again. What the heck?
Nice pass by Demo. When Devin's driving and passing, he gives us that fourth guy on the floor that can make plays.
Flyers at 94 right now, and I think a lot of people were thinking, okay, how about 100? But 96 was going to be enough as the Flyers go on to win it on the scoreboard by a 12-point margin, 96-84. You had 3 guys in double figures led by Deshaun Pierre, and overall an outstanding game against a really good team.
Yeah, it was a good performance by our guys. Most importantly, we were ready to play. I thought our guys approached the game the right way. They play the right way right now. When we play the right way unselfishly, offensively, and we're bringing in a lot of guys that can compete on defense, I think we can put up numbers like that. Not that we'll score 96 a game all the time, but it was nice to see the ball go in the basket.
Speaking of scoring, when we come back on the Archie Miller Show, we will sit down and talk with Jordan Seibert, the Flyers guard, on the court for the first time after a transfer year. That and more when the Archie Miller Show continues.
'Tis the
the season to stock up on the red and blue, and there's only one place to do that, at the Corporate Casuals Fan Shop. They've reopened down on Brown Street next to BW3's, carrying the best selection and the best brands of Flyer attire for men, women, and children. Don't forget that favorite Flyer fan on your list. Get your holiday shopping done 7 days a week. They're open from 10 to 7 Monday through Friday, 10 to 4 on Saturdays, and noon to 4 on Sundays. You can also shop at the arena during every Flyers home game. Welcome back to the Archie Miller Show. And, Coach, it's no secret by now, a lot of people know that Jordan Seibert ended up here. You recruited him a couple of different times. You recruited him when you were at Ohio State, and he went to Ohio State to play and then ends up here for his final 2 seasons.
Yeah, we recruited Jordan at Ohio State spring of his 10th grade year when he was about 16 years old, and watched him then and, saw a great deal of talent. I was able to recruit him and, all the way through. And then right before he went to Ohio State, I ended up packing up and going to Arizona, so I didn't have a chance to coach him at Ohio State. But, I think that relationship on the way in was good enough that he and his family, when they decided that maybe a move was needed, that, this was an opportunity to be close to his family still, play at a great basketball school with a good degree, and play in a different style or opportunity, I should put, where he was going to get a chance to play, because that's the biggest thing for him. He needed to.
He has always been, from early days, a scorer. He's one of those guys that can create shots, and you don't find a lot of those.
No, he's a bona fide scorer. I think the thing that he's done in his year off here is he's built a lot of confidence in his three-point shot. I'm not sure he's ever been as locked in shooting the ball from behind the line as he is right now, but he's always been a slasher, a guy in transition that can get to the basket, get fouled. And he's added the three-point weapon now. So I think, the more the season goes on and the games get bigger, you're going to see him in big moments make big shots. He's very confident, and he adds an element of bigger guards with size and talent and athleticism that, combined with some of the other guys we have, it just brings another guy to the table that can really make plays.
Transferring from Ohio State, sitting out a year ago, Jordan Seibert back on the basketball court. We talked to him about all those things.
I'm coming out of high school. My friends and, definitely, Coach Archie, he was over there, and I had a good feeling up there. I had a great time. I wouldn't change it. It was a blessing for me to make the friends that I did and, learn the lessons that I did. But, coming here was definitely just the best decision for me. Sometimes when you're young, you get wrapped up in the wrong things, and, now I feel like I made the best decision that's going to help me not only basketball but life-wise.
This time a year ago, Seibert spent most of his time waiting and watching. Sitting out a transfer season is never an easy thing for a guy who is used to being right in the center of the spotlight.
Taking that year off, it was definitely stressful. Just sitting around and seeing my teammates go out there and, compete and play, and not being able to go out there and do it was definitely hard. But, it went fast, though. Now we're out there and I'm playing. I'm definitely excited, and I'm enjoying the season.
Seibert was Ohio's Player of the Year coming out of Princeton High School, a highly recruited player who has always had a knack for finding ways to put the ball in the baskets.
I've been asked to be a scorer my whole life, and that's something that I can do well. But I think the main thing that this team wants me to do is to be a competitor and be a complete player. Just to go out there, I can pass, I can play defense, I can do pretty much whatever, the team needs me to do, and that's what they want me, and that's what I'm playing my best basketball, so that's what I'm trying to go out there and do every night. Growing up and spending a lot of time in the gym with just my parents and my brother, just going out there, being able to just work on creating my own shot, watching guys like Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant make their own shot. So just being able just to go out there and do it, it's really what I've been always taught to do.
Jordan started this season coming off the bench, but he quickly found his way into the Flyers starting lineup. But on this team, that's not the ultimate goal.
No, it doesn't matter who starts. It doesn't matter who's in there. It doesn't matter. Only thing that matters is who's contributing and what they're doing to make sure that you get the win. And for as far as, whatever I'm doing right now, I'm trying to make sure I contribute however my team needs me to get the win.
I don't think a lot of people realize that Jordan hurt himself late in his junior year of high school. He actually has a rod in his leg.
Yeah, he had a great spring and summer going into his junior year. He had a great season at Princeton his junior year in high school. Made it to the state championship game and lost to Northland, Jared Zellinger. And then shortly after that, late spring, early summer, ended up having a bad break of his lower leg area, and they had to put a rod, which knocked him out a good bit of time. In his senior season, I think it took some time to get back used to it, and then once he got to college, but I think right now he's playing career best basketball for us.
Like any scorer, though, the other side of the ball is slower to come, and that's always a work.
That's always a work in progress, I think, for everybody. What we're trying to get Jordan to do is to bring that consistent, hunger to compete and be a guy we can count on defensively all the time. Be in the right place at the right time, and the harder you play, the less things you worry about, the more it seems to work out for you on the other end. And I think all players are like that. So he's like everybody else, where we're trying to keep him engaged mentally in the game, on both sides of the ball. And the better job he can do on the defensive side of the ball, the more physical he can be rebounding the ball, I think the better he'll be on offense.
All right, we're going to take another break. When we come back, though, it's ho, ho, ho as the Flyers do some holiday helpers, holiday Santa helping. That and more when the Archie Miller Show continues, so don't go away. Okay, I know your shopping is not done for the holiday yet. We're at 3 days before, but you probably get a little help with that, don't you?
I get a little bit of help. There's a lot of people around the holidays that visit, and obviously my wife and daughter, big time of year for them. But for us, it always seems like it just kind of happens and it shows up and it's Christmas, and the next thing you know, it's not Christmas anymore. It just, for the life of a college basketball coach, the holidays aren't something that usually lasts very long. So hopefully with a good performance against USC, maybe we can get a couple hours out on the road and find some gifts.
The guys and the gals, the UD women and men's teams, it's a tradition to go down to the YMCA Early Learning Center and play with the kids a little bit to help Santa out with passing out some gifts, and that's what you did last Monday. And the guys really have a good time with that, don't they?
I think that our entire university and athletic department really commits to the community, because I think it's a big part of what this place is about. But I know our guys really enjoy when they have an opportunity to help out. They get engaged. They don't go through the motions, so to speak. And for our players to be able to give back, to be with the women's team, to just help out a couple young guys, and in a lot of cases our guys were a lot of young guys at times that were spending some time in the rec centers and in the YMCAs, and they had somebody help them out too. So it's good to give back.
And we heard from the Columbus connection about helping Santa out a little bit.
The holidays, perfect time just to be giving back, and it's a great time of year to
show love. Everybody doesn't get to have the Christmas that some people get to have, especially in the inner city, all around the nation. So it makes us feel good that we can help out some little kids, because we were all there at one time. So I like being around the little kids around this time. There go one right there. She love you for real. She don't want to let go. Happy holidays. Keep your hams hot and keep your presents wrapped. Because if not, I'm coming to take everything. I'm just saying.
All right, they had a good time out there. And as far as Christmas schedules go, after today, they can head out and come back when?
Well, what we'll do is obviously after the game, departures, depending on if you're on a plane or a car, you can get out of town. But we'll give them the 23rd, 4th, and 5th off. It's probably one of the biggest downers of all time is as a college player when you're back on Christmas, or you leave on Christmas and you're back in when no one is around. That's a downside. So we'll give our guys the time to get some days. On the 26th, we'll be back, and we'll be practicing the evening of the 26th, 7th, as we lead into our Sunday game against Murray State.
The international connection, so to speak, everybody getting back home, although Alex isn't go back to France. His family comes over here.
Yeah, they've really made a big commitment over the holiday time to get back here and spend some time with them. They're able to see a few games, which I think is good. And then typically when Christmas time happens, they get out of town, and sometimes when you come over to the States, you're like a tourist, and they take a trip and go to Chicago, or they go to Niagara Falls, or one of those. They spend time together, which is an awesome thing for Alex, being that he's so far away from home. And Deshaun obviously being in Canada, I think a lot of people don't realize, but it's a tough travel thing for him to get back and forth, and for his family sometimes to get here. So he'll be able to get back to Toronto, as will some of our other guys getting back to New York, Louisiana, and Chicago.
Admittedly, one of the toughest times of the season for a college basketball coach because, okay, it's great to get them away, but it's tough when they come back to get that attention again. Isn't
You
it?
always know as a college coach that the worst practice of the season is the first one back off of Christmas break. I mean, it's literally, it is like pulling teeth to get them to even tie their shoes. I mean, it's like to get them re-geared back up, re-motivated to get back into the trenches because, you know, before you know it, you're back on that floor again. But everybody deals with it, which is a good thing. But for us, you know, I remember last year in particular, the weather was so bad, we had a tough time getting them all back at the same time. So hopefully we'll be fortunate, get everybody back safely. And I know the night of the 26th will be one of those ones where the lungs are burning a little bit, but hopefully it won't burn too bad.
Okay, before we can head home for Christmas, though, there is still one more basketball game to talk about. That's coming up this afternoon. It's the rematch with the Southern California Trojans. Tough game last season. We'll take a look at that and talk about the new coach when we return. Welcome back to the Archie Miller Show. Southern Cal's in town. You play them this afternoon coming up at 2 o'clock. A team we saw last year, but a team with a new head coach.
Yeah, a lot different. Obviously, Coach Enfield, new head coach, bringing a much different style than they've had, you know, previously in the last 3 or 4 years. Very up-tempo, you know, very fast-moving, exciting way to play. I can tell where they're going with it. But they also have some leftovers with great size. You know, Omar Arabi will be the biggest player that we'll see this season at 7'2", 270, and he's a terrific inside player. And, you know, Pishon Howard at the guard slot, a transfer from Maryland, is giving him great scoring burst. And we got our work cut out for us. They got the gift of size and talent and speed, and you know, they're coming all the way across the country for the rematch that obviously we didn't deliver on last year. We thought we had a chance there late, but I remember the game very vividly, and that trip was very hard on us. So
yeah,
hopefully the trip's hard on them as well coming over this way.
Tough game as this game went to overtime before the Flyers were not quite good enough out in Los Angeles, but it's a team that I don't know. People remember from March Madness Andy Infield's Florida Gulf Coast team.
Yeah.
Are they playing like that at all?
Well, I don't think he has. Obviously, he's going to take them some time to get their style of player in there. They're trying to play very up-tempo. They set a lot of ball screens. They spread the floor, and they're shooting very quick into the clock. They've already had some early season success with a great win over Xavier in the Bahamas, where they played very well, and then came back and played very well against Boston College at USC not too long after that. And they're coming off a tough road loss here at Long Beach State, but going on the road is always difficult. So hopefully we'll catch a team that's maybe a little jet lagged. I don't know.
Okay, the game comes up at 2 o'clock this afternoon at the University of Dayton.